Hey Internet, this is Gunter with MiniMishaps, and today we are going to narrow down my pile of shame so that I can pick something out to paint. So the idea is that this is absolutely too much stuff that has not gotten painted, and it's not getting used, and it's driving me crazy. So we have got the big tray of random, which is exactly what it sounds like. We used to use this for our challenges, painting challenges, and now it's just a tray full of random minis, and we want to get them painted up so that they can get used. We've also got the gray tray, and the gray tray is unpainted, most of them unprimed, D&D, Pathfinder, Reefer miniatures. It's essentially minis from the store that are fantasy minis that we could definitely use. So the gray tray goes with me when I do sessions, and folks can pick out miniatures to get painted or get ideas for the kind of color schemes they want for their minis, etc. And then we have this blob of unfinished projects. This is where all the 3D printed stuff is going before it gets painted. There's video projects, kit bashing, there's miniatures left over from the Reaper Expo online thing that we did. There's stuff that I had some family stuff come up and I missed about 3 weeks. So I missed March of Dwarves, I missed a bunch of projects for the back half of March, and then there's also some that are like toys and 3D prints that my son picked out or did that are also on the why aren't you painted yet list. So since there are so many minis to choose from, and I don't have any idea which one I want to paint, and since this is the first round, I'm going to be doing it just me today. After today's video though, it'll hopefully be whatever you guys decide. So as you go through and you see these minis that I'm going to compare and eliminate, put in the comments if there's ones that you would like to see, or you want a closer look at them or anything like that, because we're going to be pairing them off and doing a sort of tournament style elimination, and there's going to be points for each miniature. The points are going to be rule of cool, and that's going to be 1 through 10 points. The work to finish, the amount of work to finish, or WTF, are going to be reduction of points, so you can lose up to 5 points for how much extra work. If it needs to be primed, if it's a plastic that's hard to work with, if it needs a base, those kinds of things will take off points. And then the last category, which won't affect us today, will be the popularity on YouTube, or PYT. So we've got all the acronyms, all the points, and the YouTube points from you guys doesn't have a limit, because eventually we want it to be just what you guys vote on, and then my own personal rule of cool can be the tiebreaker. But for today it's going to be how we decide the miniature that we're going to paint. And I might do this over a couple of videos because I think this is going to take a while. So first we're going to do the big tray of random. It's got the most miniatures, it's going to take the longest, and then we'll see if there's time to do the other 2 blocks, otherwise we might get more videos. So our first pairing in the big box of random is this pewter miniature, and the cool thing about this one is it's a mystery. We don't know where it came from. I think it was in with my dad's miniatures from the his time in the fantasy D&D world, and so we're just going to call it that 70s mini. That's going to be his name. And then we've got Muscle Men from the 90s. This one was my nostalgia And so we're gonna call him the Mustache Mohawk. And so that 70s mini, I'm giving it a 7 on Rule of Cool because of the mystery and the pewter, and then I'm taking off 1 because he'll probably need to be primed. And then the Mustache Mohawk also got 7 for Rule of Cool, and doesn't have any, he's primed and has a base and everything, doesn't have any reductions. So that means it's 7 to 6, Mustache Mohawk. Next up, we've got this beard on the body Viking, and so he's also looks like he's giving somebody a lecture, so we're gonna call him Stern Beard. And then we've got Darth Maul, except it looks like in addition to his double lightsaber warping or bending, that he's also like holding a torch or something for some reason. So we're just gonna call him Torch Maul. Stern Beard, Rule of Cool says the beard by itself is worth 3 points, and that's the main thing that's exciting about him, so he's got a 3. And Torch Maul, because of all the nostalgia in Star Wars and just a really kind of unique build and paint job, giving him a 5. So he beats out the Viking, and we're on to the next. Alright. So this, I think, is WizKids, and on the left, it's a monk, but it looks like he thinks he's an assassin, so we're just going to call him Sassy Monk. And the Sassy Monk here, Rule of Cool for the unique swords, we're going to give him a 3. And the guy across on the right here is sort of a column golem. These are like made out of Greek structured buildings, and so big, so he's probably one that we could use pretty readily in D&D. Either one of them are, really. We're giving the Sassy Monk 3, like I said, and the Column Golem just for the fact that his name rhymes and it's a really unique build there. We're going to give him an 8 on the Rule of Cool. So trumps the Sassy Monk, and he moves forward. Alright, we have got 2 guys that look like they're trying to give us hugs here. We got, I'm going to call him Poptart Head on the left, he's another muscleman. And then we're going to go with the Asylum Hood on the right. So Poptart Head, Rule of Cool, with it being a 90s toy miniature, we're going to give him a 6. And the Asylum Head doesn't really have other discerning features or any kind of creativity with the build. So we're going to give him 2 points. So Poptart Head moves forward. Alright, so you can see on the left here, this one's started in progress already. But we've got Running with Knives, 2 swords, and only 1 foot on the pretty cool build, pretty unique. It's only got the 1 foot on the back of the base, so it's kind of counterbalanced, and I like that shape. And then we have Squat Orc. It just looks like an orc that's celebrating something. And I think this guy is maybe Reaper or Bones. I'm not really sure. But either way, we're giving Running with Knives 4 for the unique pose. And the Squat Orc, pretty basic. We're just giving him 1 point on the Rule of Cool. Alright, we have got a kobold on the left and some sort of swordsman on the right. Kobold, we're going to just say boldly kobold. Boldly kobold, where no kobold has kobolded before. Boldly kobold. And the other guy looks like he's in some sort of martial arts pose. And he's got intricate details more so than the kobold. We're going to call him Woo Shoes. Woohoo Shoes. Woo Shoes. Something like that. 1 point for the kobold, 3 points for Woo Shoes. Woo Shoes moves on. Alright, so we have a rogue that I think is WizKids. It's a lady that looks like she's holding maybe a stick of dynamite, so we're gonna call her Don't Test Me. And then we've got this guy who looks like he's got a fish hook big Disney fishhook on the end of his staff. Wizard, elf, another WizKids. So we're going to call him Maui Mage because of the fishhook. And we have got Don't Test Me. It's a pretty nondescript pose. 2 points in Rule of Cool, and the Maui Mage is a really... I like the cape, and I love Disney movies, so Maui Mage gets 4 points and moves on. Alright, so we have got... oh my gosh. We've got a guy in a cloak with what looks like a occult weapon of some kind, and so we're going to call him the Grim Seeker, and he's going to get 4 points for his Rule of Cool on his staff. And we have a chicken, and that, my friends, is worth 10 points on the Rule of Cool. Chickens are always going to win the Rule of Cool. He would have to be primed, so we're going to take a point off, but that gives a 9-4 for the chicken. Chicken moves on. If you want to help name the chicken, put it in the comments, because I have a feeling that he's going to go far in the tournament. A lot of cool minis, though, facing off against him on the way. Alright, next up. You have the right to remain dead. We've got a zombie police officer there. And then we've got a bad angle on the camera shot. But this is another mage that looks like it's got a crab pincher on the end. And he's probably got a lot of like nieces and nephews that he just goes after their cheeks. We're calling him Pinchuvius, and we're giving him 2 points for his Rule of Cool. Right to remain dead, we are also giving 2 points. And then we're going to go to the tiebreaker, which is how well they will function in the D&D game. And so we don't have any operational firearms or police from present day, and not a lot of zombies. So Pinchuvius gets the win by default. Alright, so moving right along, we have got this Warforged with a club, and I think we're going to call him Geordi. Yeah. 3 for the Rule of Cool. Pretty basic stance there. Pretty basic weapon. We don't see a lot of Warforged, so that part's cool. And then we've got this Orc Warrior, and we're going to call him No Neck Nork. Because no neck. Geordi gets 3, No Neck Nork gets 2, our Warforged moves on. Alright, next up we have got... some of these matchups really just accidentally fall into good matchups. So here we have a church-going, carol singing... actually, that's going to be her name, Carol. Carol's going to be her name. Christmas caroler, Carol the Christmas caroler, versus this zombie, I don't know, pedestrian, big-haired pedestrian, I don't know. But it looks like the zombie's carrying an arm, so we're going to call her Lend Me a Hand. So we've got Carol versus Lend Me a Hand. Carol is, we're going to say, is probably going to be put with the holiday minis eventually. And so not a lot of practical use on caroling there unless she's maybe performing some ritual. So I'm going to do 1 on the Rule of Cool, and then Lend Me a Hand, we're going to give a 4 because the zombie idea, there's a ton of zombies, but the name worked out really good and we like it. I like those plays on words. Alright, as you can see, these are completely subjective. And that's why we want to hear from you about your thoughts on them. So, alright, we have got another kobold. This one's got a crossbow. We're going to call him Recoil. And he's going to get 2 Rule of Cool points. And then we've got this Viking. And we're going to call him Axe Ketchup. Because that's what he makes. Axe Ketchup. 3 points on the Rule of Cool. He loses 3 points though because of that. You can see the blue there is rejecting the primer. It's actually a plastic that the minis that are in this plastic are just impossible to paint. The paint just flakes off of them no matter what I do. So I'm gonna have to try something else. But he loses 3 points because it's literally gonna take probably 2 more coats of primer to get any paint to stick to him, and that's kind of a pain. But that means he ends up with 0 points, and Recoil moves on. Alright, we've got a cat warrior with a sword and a shield. We're gonna name him or her Me Ouch. And we're gonna give Me Ouch a 5 on the rule of cool. Already based, already primed, and just, yeah, you all should know out there that I have a fondness for the Animalian characters for D&D. And then we've got our lawn gnome here from the dollar store, and we're just going to call him Lonnie. And we're giving him a 6 on the rule of cool because lawn gnome, but he would need a prime, so that's -1. And he would need a base, that's minus another one, so Lonnie loses out to Meowch this time. Meowch moves forward. Another one of our interesting dichotomy pairings. We've got an angel versus a banshee here. So she looks like she's about to launch into space, so we're going to be calling her Blessed Off, and we'll call the banshee Outspoken. That'll be the banshee's name. And they both get 1 on the rule of cool. And for practical use, we're going to go with Blessed Off. She's got a better wordplay name, as well as more practical use in the D&D campaign. So we don't have a lot of spirit beings. Most of the undead are solid, and most of the ethereal beings would be elemental. So, which reminds me, all this month we are putting out a daily video for describing the Getherverse, which is our homebrew universe. 30 questions answered in 30 days. So check those videos out, and you can learn more about the world that is the whole reason for all these miniatures. Alright, Blessed Off moves on. And so we've got a Wanty or a Serpent Folk, and then across from an Ogre or a Troll. And so we're going to name this guy I Missed Leg Day, which, like when they're handing out legs, he didn't get any. So Snake Guy, pretty neat sculpt. We're going to give him a 6 on the rule of cool. And this other guy looks like he's lifting imaginary weights, so we're going to call him Do You Even Troll for that. And we're going to give him 2 on the rule of cool. Not a very creative sculpt, and also not a huge usability in the D&D campaign. Alright, I Missed Leg Day moves on. Alright, we've got Cloak and Daggers, literally, so that's a good name for our elf lady or guy. Here, 5 on the rule of cool. Hard to paint when the mini is hugging itself. Hard to get that paintbrush down inside, but we'll do our best if it comes to it. And we have a big cat with a bigger axe, and so we're gonna name him it's like a guillotine, so, and he's a lion, so it's gonna be Guilliontine, something. Guilliontine. Yeah, it works. It's got the right letters. It's not my fault French doesn't pronounce all of them. Next up, so, Cloak and Daggers 5, Guilliontine, 7 points. Moves on. Probably gonna get eliminated just because I can't say his name. No offense. Alright, next we've got Killer Traffic, because he's a construction worker that is also a zombie, so probably became a zombie. And then we've got Mr. Electric over here, because he's got literal, like, electricity diodes instead of hands. So the zombie is part of a big bag of zombies. We're going to give him 3 on the rule of cool. and Mr. Electric is another of the 90s muscle men. We're going to give him a 6 and he moves on. Alright, next up. We're almost done with the big tray of random, and I think we're going to have that be, the big tray of random will be today's video, and then we'll make future videos for the others. So, next up we've got a kobold holding a longer weapon. We're going to call him Lance, and give him 2 points. Then we've got another muscleman, and he's sort of a temple made into a person, so temple, we're just going to call him Temple Head, and give him 6 points. He moves on. Okay, we've got a Ninja Turtles Hero Clicks with the base converted, and he's a bear with a sword. So we're going to call him the Right to Bear, B-E-A-R, arms. Right to Bear arms. Right to Bear arms. You know what I mean? And this is the scale on the one on the right is misleading. It's actually like 16mm scale. There's that plastic poking out. It's the same kind of plastic as that problem Viking blue. And so since he's in 16mm scale and a Minotaur, we are just going to call him Minitar. And Right to Bear arms, because of the Ninja Turtles thing and the nostalgia and the hero clicks, we're going to give him 7 rule of cool. Minitar is only going to get 4 and also lose points because of the hard to work with plastic. So Right to Bear arms in the next round. Also again, reminder, list all the ones you want to see move forward, because there's going to be multiple rounds of this to get to which ones get painted there. So, alright, next up. Last in this group, we have got a Hug Troll. It looks like he's just trying to get some attention there. We're going to give him 4 on the rule of cool. -1 for the hard plastic. There's that blue sticking out again. And then we've got a little halfling pocket-sized rogue, so Pocket Pilferer is going to be the name. 5 on the rule of cool. Right dead set in the middle, but plenty enough to beat out the Hug Troll. Can't say that. Plenty of points to win against the Hug Troll. So, alright, there you have it. That is round 1 of our paint elimination for the big box of random. The next video is going to be the paint elimination for the gray tray, and then the work in progress box. So, more videos to come, and I'll be keeping track of all of their points. They'll get points as you guys pipe up in the comments. There's not really a limit. You can let us know all of the ones in big long lists that you like, and they'll all get points. So this has been a round 1 of painting journey, and we will get settled into a rhythm. Once this whole thing is done, we'll have kind of an order of which things get painted, in the order they're going to get painted. So maybe we'll have a sudden death with the 3 finalists. So, alright Internet, you survived me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can, like if you can, support on Patreon if you can, and we'll see you next time. Thanks Internet.